Hey guys!
So, Thor Love and Thunder, fourth entry in the Thor series, aka part of the MCU franchise. Is it any good? I went to the cinema to check it out, and honestly, I gotta say, not really. It's like a 6.7 out of 10. A whole lot of style, not a lot of substance. Apparently, the movie was supposed to be longer, but a lot of it, not in a film, and rather stayed in an editing room. It does a few things better than the previous entry, Thor Ragnarok. For example, the tone clashes less, so there's a better mixture of comedy and seriousness. I believe if Taika Waititi put his head into it, he could do actually a pretty solid horror film, because gore is legitimately threatening. Apparently there was more to Gore himself. Now, again, don't think I have mentioned this before, but I'm not the biggest fan of Gore the God Butcher. Like, his initial setup in the comics is very interesting, of Thor fighting against Gore in 3 different timelines. There were some changes to the comic book made in the film. Like, Gore still has the necro sword, but I don't think it's connected to the symbiotes. And I know I'm normally like a totally by the books guy, but so this is coming off super hypocritical, because I don't mind it that much. I'm not, like, I don't hate the symbiotes. Like, the Necrosword is connected to Null, who's the god of the symbiotes. I don't hate the symbiotes. It's just I don't like how their role in the Marvel universe was expanded in the comics. So I don't mind Venom fighting off against Spider-Man or Carnage, but this whole universal scale thing with the symbiotes, the Clinta, I'm not a fan of it. So, and Null is himself a very boring antagonist, and the art also didn't really look nice. But back to the film, Christian Bale is very good as Gore, and legitimately threatening and terrifying. So that's why I'm saying, if they had decided to, like, if Taika decided to make a serious horror film, he definitely could do that. Now, the comedy overstays its welcome sometimes, but it's a really subjective thing to say. I often, especially later on, I found myself waiting for the next scene, like impatiently waiting, because I wanted them to stop joking and continue, but of course it's a Marvel film, so humor is an important part of it. And, like, it's not terrible, and like I said, it's very distinctive Taika Waititi's style of humor, which doesn't really lend itself to Thor, when you consider that the first 2 films were quite serious. And yeah, story-wise, I think it did good. There were some stupid moments. So, for example, in the second act, the whole thing is about Gore not getting Thor's axe, and they're fighting on this in the shadow realm, and it looks all really cool with all the colors faded out and all these small drops of colors. So they're losing, and I know it had to happen, but I still didn't really like it from a writing perspective. It felt really dumb for the characters to do this, or for Thor to do this. He calls out the rainbow bridge with his axe, and then of course the axe gets grabbed, and the whole point of Gore not getting the axe is resolved, with Gore getting the axe. Felt really stupid. Then I think they tried to make Gore a little bit too sympathetic. So another thing they changed was instead of his son dying or wife dying, it's his daughter in the film. I mean, it's still the same point, so but I got a lot of backstory from Gore, probably due to time limits. As I said, this movie was supposed to be much longer. The whole love triangle between Thor's axe and his hammer, I know it's comedically meant, but it didn't really, I don't know, it was like distracting from the overall plot to do this. I also found myself not really caring for the whole Jane Foster Thor love story part of the story. I'm not big on romance. There's a few guilty pleasures of mine that I rewatch from time to time, but most of the time I think it's just distracting, and these love declarations while the world is ending. Just really, really stupid shit. Did not like it. Yeah, there's a couple moments where they're just, waiting, and I'm like, come on, just move towards him, instead of wasting time here. I think the Guardians were supposed to play a bigger role, but I'm perfectly content with how much they were in the film, which isn't that much, but enough, and because this is a Thor film, maybe you could do a team-up film between the Guardians and Thor in the future. But right now it just didn't fit because this was to be more centric on Thor himself. There's also, right now, I remember this one moment in the recapture where, Korg tells the story of the previous films, and the absolute disrespect the Warriors 3 get. The Warriors 3 were Thor's best friends, and Korg makes it seem like those were just some random punks, getting murked. Small moments. It would have been nice if Jamie Alexander could have been more in this film, but it was already a surprise that they brought her back. Same goes for Kat Dennings' Darcy, who was last seen in WandaVision. She had a small cameo role, as well as Stellan Skarsgård as Jane Foster's doctor friend. Yeah, there's a lot of cool visuals and action, and the CGI looks really polished. I've, I believe it's the first MCU film of Phase 4 where I don't mind the CGI as much, or find that CGI as distracting as with other films. So points to that, to the visual effects and shit. The fight scene between Gore and Thor towards the end of the movie, with also the children fighting, was pretty cool. But again, in comparison to other films, it is just not that memorable, you know. Especially when you compare to like other MCU films that have like bigger stories to tell. And that's the thing with Thor. All of his movies are very self-contained films, which is nice, but it also doesn't make them that much memorable in the end, you know, because they're so focused on their own, and then you have to like weirdly reattach them to other films when it comes to like team-up films. At the end, we also get a teaser of Hercules. He's a big rival of not only Thor but also the Hulk. And we haven't seen that much of the Greek pantheon, and the next film could be very interesting. Yeah, I hope you liked this video, and we'll see us next time.
For more content like this, like and subscribe.
Okay, fuckity bye.